What is up, everybody? My name is Zach Moss, and finally, I have the time to create a consistent upload on YouTube. I was gone for a while with some school stuff, but it's the summer, so alas, here we are. All right, there's a good story I want to get into. It's called Trump Heights. Before I say anything, I'm just going to let you know what CNN and Vice News says, just so you know I did a little bit of homework at least. So CNN says, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has announced a new settlement in the Golan Heights named after his quote-unquote great friend Donald Trump. I don't know if great friend is something that Benjamin Netanyahu actually said or if CNN just kind of added that in. Nonetheless, I, to be honest, did not care enough to look into it. CNN continues by saying, Netanyahu unveiled a sign at the proposed site of the settlement on Sunday bearing the name Trump Heights and thanked the U.S. president for breaking with the international community to recognize Israeli sovereignty over the region. Cool. Vice News says pretty much the same thing, but I'll just say it anyway. So they state, Trump Heights will be built in a region that Israel annexed from Syria more than 50 years ago. Golan Heights has never been internationally recognized as Israeli territory. That is, not until Trump tweeted out his announcements that the U.S. would recognize Israel's sovereignty over the area. The construction of 100 homes is slated to begin later this year. So I'm just going to kind of put this all into one big summary. So here's a map. Right here. A place called Golan. It is a part of Syria. And Israel captured the Golan back in 1967 during a war that was called the Six-Day War. It's called the Six-Day War because it lasted for, drum roll please, 6 days. So Israel captured this and has used it as a base. Like it's kind of like a military base, but it's mostly a tourist attraction, to be brutally honest with you. I actually had the opportunity to go to the Golan Heights during my PhD pursuit, in my current PhD pursuit, and I was able to study over there, and I was really surprised at how many UN individuals were there, white helmets. Pretty nice individuals. Had a pretty good selfie with them. Well, okay, it was an all right selfie, all right? The sun was very hot and in our eyes, what can I say? But nonetheless, as you can see, it's Israel, Lebanon, Syria, and Jordan surrounding this area. So as you can see, this is a very important location, is what I'm trying to say. And so now you might be wondering, what exactly does Trump have to do with any of this stuff? Well, fun fact, he tweeted back in March 21st, 2019, saying, after 52 years, it is time for the United States to fully recognize Israel's sovereignty over the Golan Heights, which is of critical strategic and security importance to the state of Israel and regional stability. And he capitalized regional and stability, which I generally care about grammar about 50% of the time. So this is like 50% triggering to me right now. 4 days later, on March 25th, the White House released a statement, and a little blurb from the White House in the statement says, now, therefore, I, Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Constitution and the laws of the United States, do hereby proclaim that the United States recognizes the Golan Heights are a part of the State of Israel. Fun fact, back after World War II, it was internationally illegal for a country to permanently take another country's land through force. This was backed by, I want like a second drum roll, the United States. By us supporting the creation of settlements, which is essentially towns or villages that are created by one country on top of the land of another country, by us supporting that, we're going back against everything that we had supported up to this point in our history, which is why it's a big deal. Now, this is why it's relevant to you. There are 4 reasons why you should care. Number 1, it will increase regional instability. The United States is a major player in this area. So whatever conflict happens is going to affect us, whether it be us sending troops over there, which is probably unlikely, but it could happen. Or, number 2, increasing our resources. So you're wondering why you don't have free college or healthcare or things along those lines. Well, guess what? Guess where it's going? It's going over there. That's why you should care. The second reason why you should care is because it will lower our global support. I actually attached a fun little poll here by pewresearch.org, and I also attached a number of other polls in the description box below. Anyway, I digress. So this poll says that there is a decrease in confidence in the US president and an increase in the unfavorability of the US abroad. I bring this up because Israel taking over this land is not something that generally the international community agrees on. The United States supporting Israel's capture of more land, especially permanently, that's something where most countries will then not support us as a result or not respect us. So if you care about being respected, this is pretty important. Another reason why you should care about this, reason why, I think I said reason why, not region. Anyway, is because there will be more land grabs. Countries will say, okay, cool, so the United States, you can't say anything when we go over and take over this other country's land permanently because you just supported Israel. For example, Russia. Here's a map of Ukraine and Russia. There's an interesting little location called Crimea, which is in between Ukraine and Russia. Crimea is a part of Ukraine. Russia wants Crimea and has been very active in trying to take Crimea. Now, the general consensus in the academic community, again, I know the consistent theme here is general, not all the time, but as a whole, countries will be using this as a reason for why they should take over other countries. So right now, if Russia were to take over Crimea, they're going to say, hey, United States, what are you going to say about this, huh? You just supported Israel and you're not supporting us taking Crimea? What's that about? The reason why that's relevant to you is the fact that if Russia decides to use more military action, the United States will become more involved. It'll be wasting essentially troops' lives and it will be costing us resources. That's why this is relevant. And so with this situation, if you were to care about peace and stability, if you were to care about the lives of the people who's at risk, whether it be civilians or soldiers, this isn't something we should be supporting. We shouldn't be supporting a settlement being named after our president. And also, it is okay to like President Trump and not support everything that he does, right? I support some people all the time, but I'm not going to support them 100% of the time. I know there's some of you that might agree with some people sometimes, maybe it'd be Jesus or Buddha or something like that, whatever, but you get my point. And so it's okay to say, hey, I like Trump, but at the same time, I don't support this thing that he's doing. That's okay to say. So I hope you guys got something out of this video right now, and if you did not, it is what it is. Maybe next time. If you did get something out of this video, that's awesome as well. If you liked it, please give it a like or a subscribe because I'm new on YouTube. I appreciate those things. Or you could leave a comment below. Another idea, reach out to me on Twitter at ZachMoss6. Let me know what you think. Look at my facts, read the information, and come up with an opinion of your own. Anyway, thank you guys very much for listening. I appreciate you all.